Elliott Maris, the editor of Professional Tool and Equipment News, with another edition of Industry Insights. We're all aware that we are now living in a digital age. People of all ages are using mobile phones and tablets for everyday commerce. But is the automotive aftermarket responding effectively to this change? This summer, Google released a white paper called The Road to Winning Drivers: What Drivers Want in Automotive Aftermarket Service. And I'm pleased to tell you that we're here today with Danielle Russell, Google's Industry Director for Automotive. Danielle, one of the key takeaways from your white paper is that there is very little brand loyalty in automotive service work. Yet there are certainly some well-recognized national automotive service chains. So why have the automotive chains not been able to accomplish what service providers in other industries have accomplished, such as the fast food industry, where chains have clearly dominated their market?
I think what we've always seen in this industry, in the aftermarket service industry, is that awareness hasn't translated into differentiation and loyalty. The comparison with fast food chains is, that's a very tangible product that consumers have an expectation of what it is, what it should taste like, look like. But when it comes to your vehicle, as consumers, we lack a little bit of that education. And so we look for our service providers to provide us that education and establish some trust. And over the years, it's been a consistent, response from consumers that they just don't see that or feel that trust. And so there is an opportunity which has yet to be taken advantage of by the automotive service industry to really establish some type of loyalty and differentiation based on how they interact and engage with consumers on a daily basis. So, overall, there's examples that I think the digital industry has started to bring forward and allowed for, such as the Audi cam in the UK. That's a case where if you were to go look that up, Audi is their technicians are using a flip camera as they perform maintenance on a vehicle. And in some cases, they can actually show what a new part would look like versus the worn part on the car. And as a result, they email that over to the customer, and the customer can look at it from a video standpoint, see what is actually going on with the repair, and actually accept and approve the repair right there online. So you can see how as consumers, continue to look for education and an understanding of what's needed on their vehicles, there is an opportunity for differentiation. And an example of Audi, that's just one of the cases that would help establish more credibility if you were a consumer.
While car owners rely on known technicians and shops for big jobs, they obviously don't think it's necessary to patronize these shops and technicians for routine service work. That's a lot of business that technicians and shops are losing. So what can be done, Danielle, to get this routine maintenance work?
Well, our study indicated that 73% of consumers who go in and have routine service work, like an oil change performed at a service provider, and have a good experience would likely return. The challenge is that as consumers looking, at our own lives, we're very busy. And some of the methods that auto service providers and others continue to use, such as direct mail and other flyer-based materials to kind of remind consumers to come back in, isn't as effective. We're always connected. We always have our phones with us. So there is an opportunity for evolution for the automotive service space to start providing more digital email type service reminders, which our consumers in the study thought would be very valuable to helping to reinforce that it's time for that maintenance work to be done. I mean, just think about your mobile phone and how you're always carrying it. Imagine receiving a reminder while you're in your car that service needs to be done, it's time, and how easily you can then use your phone to go in and get that, make an appointment or call your service provider to have that done.
You mentioned mobile media. can you expand on how mobile media plays a role with today's drivers?
Sure. Mobile, again, put yourself in the shoes of your own life. It's in our pocket, it's in our purse. Research says that 80% of consumers don't ever leave their home without their mobile device. And a lot of us end up going back home if we forgot it, just so we had it. I think how mobile is used actually in the automotive service space is that, again, I mentioned the reminders and how you can use that to communicate, but think of a consumer that is in their car driving and a light goes on, a maintenance needs to be performed, and they can actually take advantage of looking up their provider who is closest to them or where they're driving to or where they're going to have another errand performed. So if you think of yourself as a service provider, it's a lot easier to start communicating with the consumer based on proximity, the local area that you're in. And also if you're a stranded consumer, something has broken, or a repair has created an issue for your car at the side of the road. Our studies found that a quarter of consumers will actually look up a towing service. A third of consumers will look up a towing service, while another third will actually start to look up a local service provider to have that work done on their car right away. So when you look at the mobile phone as an automotive service provider, you can see the opportunity if you are present as a consumer searching and looking things up while they're actually in use and in their vehicle. There's a great opportunity for you to capture that consumer, invite them in, and establish that relationship that you're looking for.
Thank you, Danielle Russell of Google. Next time, we'll learn more from Danielle about what automotive shops can do to build their businesses using digital media tools. Be sure to go to vehicleservicepros.com to download the white paper. Go to the Media Center button, then go to the White Papers button, then look for the white paper, The Road to Winning Drivers. This has been Elliot Maris with another edition of Industry Insights.